Yo, my people, it's Highblues FS and it's your boy Steve Vino. Welcome you back again to our YouTube channel. And if this is your first time watching our YouTube video, please kindly hit on the subscription button and give this video a thumbs up. And if you've been watching our YouTube video for quite a long time now and you have not subscribed to this channel, you are not doing us any good. Please kindly hit on that subscription button. Kindly hit on the subscription button, please. And do not forget to turn on the notification bell for more updates so that whenever we post new content, you'll be updated ASAP. Yeah, so as we promised before, today we want to give a detailed analysis or a detailed explanation of how you guys can use the crossover strategy to trade the financial market. This strategy, you can use it to trade synthetic indices, and you can also use it to trade stock market, even NASDAQ and currency pair. Yeah, it works in all instruments. So it's a very strong, simple but powerful strategy that you can use to make the market only if you understand the concept and follow what I'm going to show you guys. Now, please watch this video several times to try to understand the concept. Now, it's not just about watching a strategy it's not just about watching strategy just for once. Sometimes we have to watch a particular strategy more than once so that we understand the concept. It is only when we understand the concept of a strategy that we can make money using that strategy. So with that being said, let me get to the reason why we are here today. So today, let us start by showing you guys, we'll start by showing you guys how you can set up the crossover strategy. Before now, in the first video, we've done two videos on the crossover strategy, and the first one we did had 4 moving average, and the second one we did has 3 moving average. And because of that, a lot of people were kind of confused. So in this video, this is just like an updated version of the crossover strategy. Please guys, don't mind the background sounds, guys. Please just overlook the background sounds and try to understand or focus what I'm explaining. So with that being said, the first video we did has 4 moving averages, and the second one has 3 moving averages, and a lot of people were kind of confused. So this is an updated version of the crossover strategy. So now watch please as I set up the strategy. Now for you to set up the strategy is simple. We only need some few indicators. So our first indicator we'll be adding is our moving average. As you can see, this is just what we need. Period 10, method smooth, apply to close, and PZ3. The color is red. Now the PZ style does not really matter. The styles, it can be 3, it can be 2, whichever you prefer, but I prefer using 3. The color should be red, guys. It should be red. Regardless of your background chart, the color should be red. Now, so the color should be red. So we've done. So another thing we also need to do now is to add our second indicator, which is also the moving average. And this time the period is going to be 16 and the method is going to be exponential, and we'll be using the blue color. So this is how to set it up. Kindly follow the screen direction to set up your own strategy. Okay, so this is it. We add the third moving average, which is the 48 moving average. 48 moving average. It is still exponential. Style can still be 3. Then we use another color. I prefer using purple. Now this is the strategy. This is the strategy. In the video we did before now, we did also add we added relative strength index RSI period 14, and we also added average directional movement index. Sometimes it takes time for all the conditions to be met when we add those indicators, and you can still add it, but it's more easy that we trade boom and crash without those other indicators. So now this is just the strategy. We're able to set up the strategy. Now let me tell you guys how you can trade the market successfully using this strategy. Now it's a simple but powerful strategy, as you guys already know. And take a look at what happened here. The crossover did happen, which was a buy signal, and we saw how the market bought. Yes, oh yes, it was a buy signal. We saw it here. The strategy told us it was going to buy. If we had entered the market right from here, would have been in good profit. This is M5 time frame. Now, for a buy signal, there are things we have to watch out for. The blue moving average you see here represent the bulls. The blue moving average represent the bulls, which means buy. The red moving average represent the bears, which means sell. And the 48 moving average help us to determine the strength of the trend. The 48 moving average help us to determine how strong the trend is. How strong the trend is. So it helps us to determine the trend of the market, if it is a strong uptrend or if it's a strong downtrend. Now let me tell you how you guys can use the strategy. Knowing fully well that the alright, now let me show you guys how you can trade the market successfully with this powerful strategy. Knowing fully well that the blue signifies the blue moving average signifies the bulls and the red moving average signifies the bears, we can then move on to show you how you guys can trade the market successfully. Now if you are looking, if you are looking for a buy signal, now here are the conditions to be met for a buy signal. If you are looking for a buy signal, we'll be expecting the blue moving average to cross over the red moving average upward. We expect the blue moving average to cross over the red moving average upward, which means that the blue moving average needs to be above the red moving average. That is a first confirmation for a buy signal. And then the 48 moving average needs to cross below the blue moving average and the red moving average. This is what I'm saying, guys. Now coming, let me, so this what I'm saying, this the crossover did happen here. The crossover did happen here, which was a buy signal. Now the blue moving average did cross over the red moving average, which was a signal for buy. And the 48 moving average, this is the 48, we saw how it crossed over both the blue moving average and the red moving average, so it was a buy signal. Now for it to be a buy signal, I repeat myself, for it to be a buy signal, the crossover must happen. The blue moving average must cross over the red moving average, and the 48 moving average must cross below the blue moving average and the red moving average for it to be a buy signal. That is the buy signal. You can use it to sell boom, and you can also use it to catch the spike in boom. Just try to understand the concept of this strategy, and if you do, you're really gonna be making money from the brokers with this strategy. Let me explain the buy condition again. For you to use this strategy to buy the financial market, all you have to wait for is you wait for this blue moving average to cross over the red moving average, and the 48 moving average to crosses below the blue moving average and the red moving average. When we see it happen, when the crossover happen, it shows that the market is going to buy, regardless of the instrument we are using it to trade. Now the higher the time frame we use, the stronger the strategy, which means that if we are using H1 time frame and we saw and the crossover did happen, it therefore means that the market is going to buy long. So determining on the time frame, we can use this strategy on M5, on M15. I don't like using it on M1, though the strategy works on all time frame starting from M1, but I prefer using it from M5 time frame, M15 time frame. So what you guys have to do is that you look for a particular time frame that suits your style of trading and wait patiently for the for the crossover to happen. Now if you are using H1, it means that it's going to take longer time for the conditions to be met, but the higher the time frame, the higher our probability of success as well. So like this, as you see in my screen, it's M5 time frame. The strategy told us it was going to buy because the crossover did happen here, and if we are taking the market, would have really been in profit. Now knowing a buy condition, let us quickly go to a sell condition. Now if you want to sell using this strategy, it is the opposite of the buy condition. For you to sell any financial instrument, whether boom or crash or VSEL 5 or NASDAQ, for you to sell using this financial, for you to sell use now if you want to sell any financial instrument using this strategy, it is the very opposite of the buy condition. For we to trade, for we to sell using strategy, what we have to wait for is for the red moving average, which represent the bear power, the power of the bears, the selling power. The red moving average, which is the selling power, must cross over the blue moving average. It means that for it to be a sell signal, the red moving average must be above the blue moving average. That is our first sell signal that we have. Now the other condition we have to wait out for is for the 48 moving average to cross above the red and the blue moving average. Now let me show you guys what I'm saying. Now the crossover did happen here, it happened there, and we saw how the red moving average was above the blue moving average, and then we saw that the 48 moving average did cross over the blue moving average and the red moving average. It was above the two moving average, which tells us that the market is going to sell. It tells us that the market is going to sell. Now this is what we watch out for a sell signal. Let me look for another sell signal. Now look at another sell signal here. The conditions here, we saw how the crossover did happen here. The crossover did happen here, telling us that the market was going to sell. Now if you had been online and you saw this happening, then it would have been a good opportunity to sell the market. We saw that the red moving average, which represent the bear power, the selling power, was above the blue moving average, which was our first confirmation for a sell signal. And we saw how the 48 moving average, this purple moving average, cross over the red moving average and the blue moving average. So when the 48 moving average crosses above the two other moving average, it shows that the trend is a strong trend. When the 48 moving average, which is the purple moving average, crosses above the red and blue moving average, it helps us to know that it's a strong downtrend. Then if the red moving average, which represent the bear power, cross over the blue moving average, which represent the bull power, it means that the trend is a downtrend market. And we got our entry when the 48 moving average crosses above the red moving average and the blue moving average. So this is how to identify your buy signal and your sell signal. Now having said that, now let us now talk about our entry point. Let us now talk about our entry point. Where do we enter the market? When or where do we enter the market? Sometimes we might not see the conditions crossing over because we might not actually be on chart when the condition was met. Maybe you open your chart and you notice that the crossover happened here, and the crossover did happen here. Now what you wait for is you wait for a pullback, a retracement to the moving average. price must surely retrace or pull back to the moving average. Now the crossover did happen here, which was a buy signal. Now the market bought to this very level. So what you do is you wait for a retracement to the blue moving average, because each of the moving average act as support and resistance trend line. They act as support and resistance trend line. So you wait for a retracement back to the moving average. And once the retracement happen, once you see price approaching the blue moving average, we take our sell signal, our buy signal, because it's a buy market. So we take our buy entry here when price was approaching the blue moving average. So this is where we take our entry if we were to take our position using this strategy. If we had been online, our buy entry would have been here. This would have been our buy entry, and we see that the market did bought. Like I said, each of the moving average act as support and resistance trend line. You see, that is why price always respect them. And another thing you guys also need to know is that whenever a crossover did happen and market touched the 48 moving average, market must definitely react to the 48 moving average. And that was what happened here. It sold down here, came to the 48 moving average, and it spiked up. It spiked up because the 48 moving average is a strong support or resistance trend line depending on the market we are trading, on the signal given. You see, so for every first time price touches the blue moving average and the 48 moving average, price always respect it. Price always react to this level because there are strong support or strong resistance level depending on the signal that was given by the strategy. Now if we take our position here, the next question is, where do we place our stop loss? Where do we place our stop loss? We place our stop loss at this very level, below the 48 moving average, which means that if we take our entry here at 11,659.8906, our stop loss would be here 11,645.4692. This will be our stop loss. So our stop loss. Now the next thing we want to talk about is how you can place your stop loss. Now if you take your buy signal here, when the price approaches the blue moving average, we place our stop loss below the 48 moving average here. So this would have been our stop loss here, 11,645.1338. This would have been our stop loss, and this would have been our entry. As price approaches the blue moving average. We should not wait for price to touch the blue moving average before we enter for a buy, because sometimes it might not actually get there before it spiked up. So if we have taken our entry here at this level, would have been in profit. See, would have been in profit. Now this is how you place your stop loss and your entry. Now the next thing we want to be talking about, now if it's for a sell signal, this should be our entry. This should be our okay, let me put a sell signal. Okay, it says signal. Let me look for a sell signal. Okay, fine. Now if we were to be a sell signal, we would have placed our stop loss here 11,644.4170, and would have taken our entry at this level when price was approaching the blue moving average. So if we are taking our entry here at this level, market would have taken us back to this level a bit, and would have been in good profit. You see. So this is how you can place your entry and your stop loss. Now after knowing where to place your stop loss and your entry, the next question we want to talk about now is, where do I take my profit? Now like I said before, you see what happened here. The market just reacted to the 48 moving average. Though it was the second time price is testing the 48 moving average, it still respected it. Like I said, price always respect the 48 moving average the first time it touches it after the crossover, and this was the first time it touches the 48 moving average, and we saw that the market went up. And this was the second time price touched the 48 moving average, and we also see that the market went up. So you see guys, so this is how you can place your entry and your stop loss. Now let's talk about how you guys can take your profit using this strategy. Now for you to take your profit using this strategy, you have to locate your support and resistance level. That is just the simple truth. You have to locate your support and resistance level. Oftentimes when I'm using this strategy, I prefer waiting for price to react, for 5 minutes candles to happen, and if another spike did not happen, I will then close. Like if I had entered the market here, if I've entered the market at this level and my stop loss was here and the market spiked here, I will wait for 5 minutes. If any spike did not happen, I will close. But you see, before 5 minutes another spike happened, before another 5 minutes another spike happened, and before another 5 minutes another spike happened, and we have to wait for 5 minutes after the spike. 5 minutes. So here 5 minutes have it, 5 minutes candles was completed here, another spike did not happen, so I would have taken my profit here. And once price was approaching the 48 moving average, I would have taken another entry here, because I know very well that price must react to this 48 moving average. So I take another entry here, and I can as well place my stop loss here, because it was my initial entry. So my entry would be here, my stop loss would be here, because that was the initial place. It's a support level. It's a support level using our trend blue moving average, which also is which was a support trend line. So I would have placed my stop loss here, my entry here, and again the market spiked, waited for 5 minutes candle to happen, and it happened and there was no spike. I closed my position. Yeah, of course it did spike, but I did not lose and I was still in profit. So that is one way you can take your profit. 5 minutes after every spike, if there is no spike again, you take your profit. That's how you can do it. There is still another way you can actually take your profit, and that is the work of the RSI. So for that reason, I'm going to add the relative strength index RSI to our chart, and I'm going to change the parameters. It's gonna be 70, it's gonna be 50, and it's gonna be 30. Then we click on okay, we are good to go and done. Now this is it. Notice the crossover happened here. This is why I actually don't use this. Now if it happens here, we took our entry here, we'll take our profit when price touches the 70 relative strength index. So we'd have taken our profit as price touches the 70 RSI level. So that would have taken our profit at that level. So it's either you work with the 5 minutes after every spike. Whenever a spike happens, you wait for 5 minutes, and if there is no spike, you take your profit. So 5 minutes after every spike, that is when you enter you close your profit. you will either wait for 5 minutes candles to close before you take your profit, or you wait for market to cross over or touches the 70 RSI, which is the relative strength index. So if we are to use our RSI, we have taken our first profit here at this candle. See, we have taken our profit here. It's still fine. It's still fine. So there are two ways. We can either use the RSI to take our profit, or we can use the 5 minutes candle after every spike to take our profit. It's a powerful strategy. So you guys should just try to focus on the strategy. Try to understand the concept of the strategy so that you can use it to make the market. To be honest with you guys, if you can understand this strategy, even as small as you can grow small amount of money to big equity, like you always see me do. In Highblues FS, we don't fund big amounts, we fund small money and we take it to something big. So I want you guys to watch this video not just once, but watch it several times. If possible, download this video to your phone and watch it. Try to understand the concept of the strategy. Let me just use this opportunity to talk about something. Sometimes people send me DMs in my Telegram that which of my strategy is powerful. Let me tell you guys this: all strategy is powerful. All in my channel is powerful. They are all powerful and they are printing money. What you just need is to understand the concept of the strategy. So pick any strategy of your choice. It can be this crossover strategy, it can be the awesome oscillator and the EMA 13. Try to understand the strategy. If possible, you can even fine-tune the strategy to your own style of trading and make the market with them. So please don't ask which of my strategy is powerful. They are all working. If they were not working, I would not bother to post them on YouTube. But it's working. So I want you guys to take your time to understand the strategy and work on it. You're really gonna enjoy if you do. So I hope I've been able to explain all areas of the strategy. I've talked about your entry, I've talking about your stop loss, and I've also talking about your take profit. So I think I've touched all areas, all needed areas. So this is it, guys. Once again, if you have not subscribed, please, if you are still watching this video and you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please hit on the subscription button. That is one way you guys can support us for what we are doing. Share our videos to your friends, share it to your social media accounts so that others too can benefit from the channel just as you are benefiting from it. So it's Highblues FS. I'm still your boy Stevino, and I'll be signing out right now. Peace.